Hi everyone, it's me, Tim. Today I want to talk about dice. You see, I did a video, well, from your point of view, I did a PAX video a few weeks ago. From my point of view, I did it a few days ago. Because when I did the PAX 2024 video, which I'll link below, I moved it to the front of the queue because PAX had just happened. And I don't do topical stuff very often, so it was like, well, let's put it in the front of the queue. This video isn't topical, so I moved it to the end of the queue. So even though it's only been a few days for me, it's weeks for you, which should give you an idea of how big my queue is. I got a lot of requests on that video to talk about my dice, because I mentioned I have a lot of dice. I have a bit of an addiction to dice. Ever since I got my first polyhedral set 45 years ago, I've really liked dice. And I've kept most of my dice. And luckily my mom kept almost everything that I kept. So I have them now. So I want to show them to you. I want to show them in different groupings, not necessarily chronologically, because I own a lot of full sets and a lot of singletons that I bought because they were super special. I also bought mixed sets of dice. I even have one set, I don't even know what it is. It's got a bunch of symbols on it, and there was a six-sided in there. So I'll show all that to you. Just keep in mind, this is me showing my addiction. I'm in no way saying that you should have this many dice. And also, I will mention a few places by company name, just because I know it. But this is not endorsement. I'm not being paid for this. This is a window into my dice addiction. And I'm going to show you everything from the original Yahtzee dice I have, from a 1960s version of that game that my older brothers and sisters had, to the set I bought at PAX last week. So let's take a look at these. First of all, I want to show you this set. This is the very first set of polyhedral dice I ever owned. They came inside the TSR, which is who made D&D before WotC, the TSR boxed set. These were the basic dice. It's the first time I had ever seen polyhedral dice. They're made of the worst plastic you can imagine. They wore down. They weren't marked. So at least on the 20-sided, you had to get some type of permanent marker to distinguish the teens from or the above 10 from below 10. These dice were awful. They're also, this is a set I own that's 45 years old. So if my channel analytics are to be believed, these dice are older than almost everybody who watches my channel. I very quickly outgrew these dice. Within a year, I wanted better dice. And by the way, dice back then were really expensive. They had just came out with like high strength polycarbonate dice. You could only get them at not even just toy and game stores. You had to go to a specialty store. There was a little store in Old Town Alexandria called the Little Soldier that I used to go to. Anyway, I bought this set. This is the set, when I think of playing D&D, I think of these dice. These are the dice I used for almost my entire high school D&D campaign, so for 4 years. And there's still ones I occasionally pull out, and I keep them in a case. I'll show you how I keep my dice later and how I've been inspired to do better with that. But I do have other full sets besides that one. This is a full set that I used during the weekly play sessions of D&D when we were making Temple of Elemental Evil at Troika. I said that we used to play D&D every Wednesday. These are the dice I bought for that because I wanted a pair of dice. I didn't want to bring in the really bad set or the one I had from high school. So I just went out and bought a new set of dice, kept them in my office. That's what I used to play. Then I got these recently. These are metal dice. I got them from a company called Heimdallr. They're called, I think, blacksmith dice or whatever. They're solid metal. They're super heavy. I used to have a wooden dining room table, and it did leave little dent marks in it. I now have a glass one, so I'd only roll these on a mat. But I thought that looked really cool. When I photograph them or see them in sunlight like this, I can tell they're blue and yellow or blue and gold, which kind of remind me of the Fallout jumpsuit. In general, I can't see colors though anymore. And then I have these sets. I'll show you these. When I went to GX Australia in 2016, which is a gaming convention in Sydney. In the expo room was a company called Level Up Dice, and I went in and they had the best dice. They had gorgeous dice, and there were multiple sets that I wanted. I ended up picking up this set of hematite dice because I like hematite. It's a shiny, mineral, and I loved them, and they were so good. The next year, I went back to the same convention in Sydney, GX Australia in 2017. I saw the Level Up Dice table and just walked over to look. The woman who worked there remembered me. She was the one who had sold me the hematite dice, and she said, "Oh, I'm glad to see you're back." And I'm like, "I love your dice so much. What's new?" And she showed me a set of sandstone dice, and I had to get them. They're gorgeous. I never ever roll these dice, not even on a mat. I just like looking at them. That's how addicted I am. I have 2 sets of dice that I don't even use. I just look at them. At some point, Obsidian got a set of dice from Q Workshop that looked like this. I'm not exactly sure when or how we got these. I ended up with a set. I think they look really cool. They're very kind of Celtic looking. I like them. Somebody I was dating, an ex of mine, got me this set of brass dice. It's what I'm referring to when I tell people I got a set of brass ones. These are so heavy. If I thought those blue and gold Heimdallr dice were heavy, these brass ones, not only will they dent a wooden table, I think they'd shatter a glass one. So I used them for a few sessions and I rolled them on a felt mat. But every time they missed the mat or went off the mat, everybody was like, because they make so much noise on a wooden or glass tabletop. And then my final full set is this one I bought at PAX from Foam Brain Games. I did a short, but they glow in the dark. I thought that was really cool. I thought they were pink. The guy selling them to me said no, they're purple. They do kind of look purple to me when they're in sunlight. I just love the fact that they glow in the dark. A lot of people on the channel have said, "Well, when are you going to play games in the dark?" I'm like, I don't know, but now I'm ready for it. So those are the full sets that I have. And by the way, I keep those all in a case ready to play. And I'll show you the case later. I have tons of partial sets. When I went through my dice, which I keep all my partial sets in various felt and leather pouches inside a chest. Yeah, literally. And I'll show you that. I have all these partial sets. I have this white quartz set, which is super partial. I don't know where the other ones are. I don't know if there ever were ones. Maybe I bought them as singletons. I also have these really odd yellow set. I remember when I bought them, they told me they were yellow. They look full-on tan to me. I hope they're yellow. I hope I wasn't lied to. They're really odd. There's a 30-sided. There's a 24-sided. There's no 4-sided, but there's an 8-sided that's labeled from 1 to 4 twice. Okay. I don't know if I've ever used these, but I got them, and I'm ready for that weird game that, I'm waiting for that weird tabletop to come out going, get out your 30-sided, your 24-sided, and your dual labeled 8-sided. We're ready to go. I did get this green set, which came all together, but I may be colorblind, but even I can tell these don't match. These aren't in all the same material, but they came together. So I don't count them as a full set, so I threw them in my partial set section. I don't know what's going on here. They're weird. Then I have this incomplete set. I don't know what color they are. Are they red? Are they pink? Are they a weird orange color? I don't know, but here they are. Then I have this crazy set that I mentioned earlier. Most of them are symbols. Some like swords, other things I don't recognize, like just magic sigils. And in with that group is a regular 6-sided die. Is this for a game? I don't know. Maybe one of you'll know. But this is my crazy set. Then I've got a whole bunch of miscellaneous dice. I have round dice that I bought in grad school when I was playing GURPS a lot because these are round 6-sided. I used them a few times, got frustrated with them. They do work. They're heavily weighted with a little metal ball inside and a hole for it to fall into on the inside. So they always roll with one section facing up that is clearly readable. But they're weird and they roll a lot. They were always rolling off the table. I ended up buying these wooden and aluminum sets of 6-sided, supposedly to play GURPS with, because GURPS uses 6-sided. I didn't end up using them. Again, in grad school, this is when the Zachihedron came out. It's a 100-sided die. I got one of those. It was fun. It's like rolling a golf ball. I got this die from ThinkGeek. It's a critical hit die. When you roll 20, it lights up. Fun. I've had it for years. I don't know if the battery is even changeable because I've never changed the battery and it still lights up. Go ThinkGeek, or RIP ThinkGeek. I have this ethereal die, which is what my friend William called it. It's William's die. It's just a clear 6-sided. He used to roll it and then make up what number it was. He goes, I rolled a 6, or I rolled a 1, whatever was more important. And I'd be like, William, you have to roll real die. By the way, I have all of William's dice. At one point, he said, I'm not going to play D&D anymore. And he gave me his player's handbook and his dice. So these are all William's dice. Plus, I mixed in with them are a lot of extra dice from gaming sessions where people would come over my house or the office, we'd play dice, and then there'd be dice left over. And I'd often send out an email or a text going, hey, someone left this dice. No one ever claimed them. I threw them in this big pouch that I have that is unclaimed dice, which includes William's dice. William's dice were the starter set, and now it's a bunch of other dice. I mentioned my full sets I all keep in this case. So this is a case I could grab. I'm ready to go. If there's a gaming session, they're all full sets. So I've got a full set for me. I've got a full set for 7 other people if they need it, or I forget how many are in there. I'm not looking at the picture right now, and the dice set is up here. So I'm ready for me and anyone else to sit down and play a game. I also have all my partials and singletons are kept in pouches inside a little chest, which I keep. It's over here. I don't know if you can see it. It's just off camera. It's up on the bookcase. Although, now that I've done this video, it has inspired me to order some acrylic dice trays that are see-through and slidable, where I'm going to put my partials in so they can be on display too, like the ones in the case. Anyway, that's a lot of dice. I wonder if you guys have a lot of dice too, or am I just a lone dice addict out here? Anyway, I hope you liked seeing that dice collection.